If you've ever opened your medicine cabinet and spotted that small, unassuming tub of clear, jelly-like goo called Vaseline, chances are you've used it for chapped lips, rough elbows, or to keep a fresh tattoo from drying out. But behind this everyday essential lies a surprisingly fascinating origin story. What exactly is Vaseline? Where does it come from? And how is it transformed from something that starts deep in the earth into the silky balm you can safely put on your skin? Vaseline is so common that it almost fades into the background of our lives, yet few people know how it's made, or what it's truly composed of. Today we're lifting the lid and diving into the story of one of the simplest, yet most enduring products in modern history. From oil fields to medicine cabinets, to understand Vaseline, we have to travel back to the mid-19th century, 1859 to be exact, when oil drilling was just beginning in Pennsylvania. Workers on the oil fields noticed something strange. A sticky, waxy residue was building up on the machinery. They called it rod wax, and while it was a nuisance for the drillers, some began smearing it on cuts and burns. To their surprise, they claimed it sped up healing. Enter Robert Chesebro, a young chemist intrigued by this odd byproduct. Determined to figure out what made it special, he refined and purified the substance until it became something safe and consistent. In 1872, Chesebro introduced it to the world under the name Vaseline, blending the German word for water, Wasser, with the Greek word for oil, Elion. He didn't just market it as a healing balm, it was a miracle multi-tool for skincare, lubrication, and countless household uses. Soon Vaseline was in homes around the globe. From crude oil to clean jelly. Here's the part that surprises most people. Vaseline begins its life as crude oil, the thick, dark, pungent liquid pumped from deep underground. Crude oil is a complex mix of hydrocarbons, and refining it is like carefully unpacking a tangled chemical puzzle. The first step is heating crude oil in enormous distillation towers, where it's separated into components based on boiling points. The lighter fractions become fuels like gasoline, kerosene, and jet fuel. What's left over are the heavier, waxy components. These form the foundation of petroleum jelly. But no, you're not putting raw crude oil on your lips. This waxy base undergoes an intense purification process to strip away any harmful substances, odors, or impurities. Through multiple distillations and advanced filtration, the residue is transformed into a pure white, odorless substance, what manufacturers call white petroleum jelly. The art of purification, turning petroleum into something safe for human skin, involves precision. One key technique is vacuum distillation, where the jelly is heated under reduced pressure so unwanted compounds can be boiled off at lower temperatures. This protects the structure of the jelly while removing contaminants. Next, the substance is passed through bleaching clays or activated carbon, which act like microscopic sponges, pulling out any trace colors and impurities. The result is a translucent or milky white jelly, entirely odorless and smooth. Before it's deemed ready for consumers, the petroleum jelly faces strict testing. For example, it's screened for polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons (PAHs), compounds that can be harmful if present in significant amounts. Only when it passes these rigorous safety checks can it be packaged and labeled as Vaseline. From the sticky rod wax of 19th century oil rigs to the crystal clear jelly in your medicine cabinet today, Vaseline's journey is a testament to innovation, chemistry, and the power of a simple idea refined to perfection. It begins in giant industrial vats, where freshly purified petroleum jelly gleams like liquid gold. At this stage, it's still warm, silky, and almost fluid, the perfect texture for transformation. This is the moment when optional extras can be added. A hint of lavender for calming scents, refreshing aloe vera for skin-soothing blends, or vitamins for high-end cosmetic formulas. But when it comes to the classic Vaseline, the very same kind that's been sitting faithfully in medicine cabinets for generations, it's left in its purest, untouched form. While still soft, the warm jelly flows into sterilized containers, those instantly recognizable tubs and tubes. It's crucial to seal them at this stage, before the air can introduce impurities. As it cools, it settles into that semi-solid, smooth gel we all know. And here's something fascinating: Vaseline doesn't spoil. It won't go rancid, because it's inert, a term meaning it doesn't easily react with other substances. That's why a single jar can last for years without changing color, scent, or texture. From here, the journey continues, containers sealed tight, labels carefully applied, boxes stacked high, and shipments sent to nearly every corner of the world. From the depths of oil fields, through roaring refinery towers, across global shipping routes, all so it can end up right there, in your home, waiting to heal cracked lips or soothe tired skin. But here's a question many have asked for over a century: why is Vaseline so effective? Surprisingly, it's not because it adds water to your skin. Vaseline is what dermatologists call an occlusive, a protective barrier that traps the moisture you already have. Imagine a leaky bucket being sealed, so nothing escapes. That's what Vaseline does for your skin. By locking in moisture, it keeps your skin soft, supple, and shielded from harsh winds, biting cold, and scorching heat. But there's more. It also blocks out dirt, irritants, and bacteria, which explains why it's trusted to protect minor wounds, scrapes, and burns. And despite being oil-based, Vaseline is non-comedogenic, meaning it doesn't clog pores for most people. That's why it's found everywhere, in nurseries for baby care, in the backpacks of long-distance runners to prevent chafing, and in the makeup kits of professionals around the world. Some makeup artists even use it to create a natural dewy glow, make lip colors pop, or keep eyebrows in perfect shape. Think about it, a simple clear jelly that began as a sticky byproduct in the oil industry has now become one of the most trusted skincare staples in history. Vaseline has stood the test of time for over 150 years, not because it's flashy or expensive, but because it works. From soothing cracked heels and protecting lips in the dead of winter, to rescuing dry hands after a hard day's work, every time you dip your fingers into that smooth gel, you're touching a product that has journeyed from oil rigs to refineries, through a process perfected over decades, just to help your skin heal. It's proof that sometimes the most extraordinary things are the simplest. And behind every jar of Vaseline lies a story of innovation, resilience, and quiet reliability. Thank you for joining us in uncovering the hidden journey of everyday essentials. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your suggestions for our next deep dive into the fascinating histories of simple things that quietly shape our lives.